Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios in Bedford, Virginia, you're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness with your host, Brian Schley.
Hey, welcome everybody to Life, Liberty, Happiness, live from the State Farm David Honaker Studios.
A warm studio this week.
Yeah. See what happens when you get a sponsor?
Man, that's awesome.
Man.
Already making improvements.
Yes.
See what you can... Look, David, thank you for sponsoring us. David Honaker, State Farm. He's a local agent. He is located at 1238 East Lynchburg, Salem Turnpike.
Happens to be my agent.
Like a good neighbor.
Yeah.
State Farm's there for me, too.
He does, yeah.
Because he is also my agent.
Yes.
Woody, it's time to get on the cool train. Okay.
I need to get on that, yes.
All right. Yep.
Well, now that I know who to call, David, with State Farm.
We are taping the show live. Well, we are live on Grove Street FM.
Yep.
In David Honaker State Farm Studios.
State Farm Studios.
So we do welcome him as a new sponsor.
Where's Jake?
Oh,
Jake from State Farm.
Yep.
No, it's David from State Farm.
David
now.
from State
He has
Farm.
replaced Jake.
David.
We have to get him on the phone and call. And what are you wearing, David?
I don't know. That just sounds too good. Hey, David, what are you wearing?
Yeah, David, what are you wearing?
So anyway, also Grizzly Garage Doors. They have been a longtime sponsor of theirs. Steve and Judy Rush with Century 21 All Services, CNS Business Services as well. So those are our sponsors, and we will have them throughout the show.
Yep. Woody.
Yes. Hello.
So every time I say, David, what are you wearing from State Farm? I want you to think about that picture that Diane showed you today.
I'm not even going to go. I don't even know what that's about, but
You don't. Yeah.
it's okay.
Woody knows.
I know.
Yep.
So we have a caller.
We have a caller. Thank goodness for callers. Hold on. Let me get it pulled up here. Wait. Oh, I'm slow today. All right, here you go. Mr. Host, Brian Schley.
Hey, this is Life, Liberty, Happiness here on the air.
Hey, it's Will. Will from Cross Lanes.
Oh, Will from Cross Lanes. Hey, Will. Thank you for calling our studios.
Hey, want to talk a little sports?
Oh, you want to talk a little sports, huh? So we haven't gotten to our sports segment, but since you've called, we can certainly
jump right into
we can
sports.
we can jump into sports.
That's how we roll.
I'm glad you said something, Will. We don't have a sponsor yet for sports, so if you know somebody, Will from Cross Lanes, you can definitely send us our way. So what do you want to talk about, Will?
Maybe I can find a mountaineer or somebody like that might want to donate a little bit to the cause.
So where are you?
Cross Lanes, West Virginia.
Cross Lanes, West Virginia. Okay, I gotcha. Well, did you watch the Daytona 500 this Sunday?
Yep. I watched Daytona 500. Y'all get to watch that, didn't you?
Yeah, we did watch it.
I watched it, yeah. Watched it till I fell asleep.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that crash at the end?
Yeah, we did see the crash.
Logano. Logano. That guy right there, I cannot stand that guy.
I don't know why.
I don't know what it is about that fellow right there, but he's always making me mad. That Keselowski had that thing won. Never won a Daytona, and your teammate, you wreck him. I mean, what's that all about? You think maybe he caught him with his boyfriend?
Oh, wow. I don't think we need to go there. I think Logano is a champion, and he was leading the race, so I'm not sure how the leader calls the wreck. I mean, if you can drive, you can go past him.
I mean, you watch 500 miles, you'll see everybody else seem to let people go by.
Well, that's
if they
good.
had a lead, or if they had a run on them.
That's a good
I
point.
just thought it was kind of a little lame, but that was good coverage. I like that Clint Boyer. That guy's pretty funny.
I do like Clint Boyer, too.
Made Jeff Gordon sound pretty good. Yeah, I thought that was a good team. I'm glad he's there. Did y'all watch the Super Bowl, Winnie?
We did watch the Super Bowl.
It's been a while. I hadn't got to call in here and talk sports much yet. Y'all, did you get to see the Super Bowl? Did y'all see that Tom Brady?
Yeah, we did see Tom Brady at the Super Bowl.
They refer to him. They call him in West Virginia. We call him goats. Y'all know that the term's supposed to be goat.
Yeah, I think I know what GOAT means. Greatest of all time, right?
Yeah, how can you be the greatest of all time and not be able to handle a margarita?
Oh, that's
See him come off that boat?
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Speaking of not handling a margarita, it sounds like maybe you've had a few, Will.
I usually start early in the afternoon.
Figured that.
Being you in West Virginia, are you familiar with goats?
I've seen a few with short legs on one side.
Oh Lord, I think we're going down the wrong path here.
You own any rubber boots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get this button ready. I feel like that's any time now.
Yep. Sounds like if you are familiar with goats, you got to be familiar with rubber boots.
Definitely.
Yep.
See that Urban Meyer got in trouble this week?
Uh-oh. What did Urban Meyer get in trouble for?
Over at Jacksonville, them Jaguars, new team.
Yep.
Sound like he hired that David Duke as an athletic trainer.
No. I don't think it was David Duke. I think it. I don't think it was David Duke at all.
I think it was. They fired him for something like that. Didn't seem like it held up too well. I think Urban Meyer's going to have a little bit of a run in the NFL like that fella Nick Saban down there at Alabama. I don't think it's going to last too long.
It's about like this phone call if you keep
Remember
going
that?
down that road.
You remember that Nick Saban fella?
Yeah, I do.
Championship. Oh, he didn't last too long in Miami now, did he? And
No.
Dolphins. You know what it was?
I'm sure you're going to tell us.
He pays his players better in Alabama. He pays his players better in Alabama than he did at Miami.
Oh boy. Well, Will, do you keep track of local sports?
Yeah. I'm a big basketball fan. I followed them Liberty Minutemen, and they've been pretty good here recently. I wish they got to play a season. I just can't believe they don't get to play no basketball around here.
Yeah, well,
Bedford County kind of got screwed a little bit over there.
yes, they did. They did. Those kids, they did get to practice though. If you talk to the school board, they did get a good year of practice in.
It don't make no sense to me. But that's all I have for you fellas.
Well,
call in on the next one. You let me call in again?
Yeah, I think we'll let you call in next time. Hopefully you'll bring a little more energy than what you brought this time, but it was good to speak to you there, Will.
Well, if you ever need anything or want to know anything about sports, just give me a shout. I'll send DW a picture of one of them sheep I've been seeing. Or
Yeah.
goats.
Yep. Send them on.
All right, Will. We'll see you.
All right.
All right.
Test it to me.
See y'all.
Bye. That was Will from Cross Lanes. You know where Cross Lanes is there?
I have no idea.
Right outside of Charleston, South Carolina. That's dog tracks. Been there a few times. I've never run into Will from Cross Lanes, but that was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I thought about, hiring somebody to do sports, but you know what? He seemed to know his sports.
We kind of knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, we might have him call in from time to time and see.
Is it too late to do the sports sound intro? I worked hard on that.
I know, yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Although that sounds like a pretty cool intro for somebody like Will
Yeah.
from Cross Lanes. But
We could have an intro for Will since he's from Crosslane. It'd be, how about you just drop them pants
oh boy,
from Deliverance?
See, no, I mean, I just thank you. Gosh, why can't we have something more uplifting? Like,
Hi, Brian.
there we go. But anyway, now y'all really messed up my whole thing here. So,
Speaking of that, that Megan Kelly thing reminds me. When I saw you Saturday, you come by to check on us Saturday. We was working in the weather, and I appreciate that. Brought some bagels, but you had a brace on your wrist.
Yeah, it's gone now. I just had a little tendonitis in my wrist.
You sure it wasn't from all the high fives you got from Ashley?
No,
this weekend?
no.
After all this Megan Kelly stuff and
No.
all this high fiving, had to put a wrist brace on your wrist.
No. But I just had a little tendonitis Good, come on. I can't get through my work here. I got a lot of stuff on my plate today. So I was going to start off the show with a little somber news. I had just gotten word before we went on air that Rush Limbaugh, who I have respected for many years and listened to for many years, passed away. So get that out in the open that Rush Limbaugh, who was host of the EIB network. Let's see, Rush was 35 years maybe on air.
Yeah, it's a long time. Man, that's sad. That's really sad.
He was, I would say he was a vital part of conservatism. I mean, without him, I'm not sure we would have ever had a conservative movement. So anyway, on to our trivia.
Oh, yep. Hey, guys.
All right. The trivia is sponsored by Grizzly Garage Doors. Hey, Woody.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't you describe Grizzly Bear as a tough yet cute bear?
That's exactly how I would describe them.
Well, that's exactly how I describe Grizzly Garage Doors. Their doors are tough yet durable and cute and adorable. If you're looking to replace your old worn-out garage doors or new good-looking strong doors, call Jed
In Chelsea.
and Chelsea at Grizzly Garage Door LLC. Jed is a veteran
Of the Navy.
of the Navy. Anyway, you can call Jed at 434-277-2765. Call him at 434-277-2765, or you can visit their website at grizzlygaragedoorllc.com. So, they service new doors. They repair existing doors. They even have emergency services. 434-277-2765. Our trivia. I like that playing in the background.
I like that.
So, last week's was, what was the name of the radio station, which we had a live caller. So I wonder, hey, do we... Since we
Leslie,
don't have Megan Kelly on this week, I'd say we're probably at around 5 people listening live.
it's my mom's listening. I really appreciate it, Mom. Let me apologize to Leslie. Leslie actually came out to pick up her prize, but we were out filming. So apologies, Leslie. And we touched base with Leslie. She will be back next week to get that prize.
So the answer...
Maybe she'll call in and get this one right, and she can come pick up
both of them.
There you go.
Or if she make it here in the next 45 minutes, she can pick it up before we finish.
That's right. The answer was WBLT. Today's question is, in honor of our guest today, which, by the way, you're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness, host Brian Sly. Our guest today is Wes Nance. He'll be coming up later on. So the trivia question is, who was Bedford County Commonwealth Attorney before Wes Nance?
Oh, I know this one.
Shush. So, you can call...
I even have a camera on you now, too. It's call the show at 540-712-6221.
Yeah. Call or wait till after the show. And
It'd be cool if the person that's the answer calls.
Oh,
That would be cool.
that would be cool.
no, I don't. No,
You think they're listening? Let's see how many people are
probably.
listening.
Yeah.
Probably at
We'll see.
work, I would imagine.
I mean, we have a few people listening. It may be.
Okay. Well,
You'll never know.
anyway, that's trivia. So, again, the trivia question is, who was the Bedford County Commonwealth Attorney? Oh. Uh-oh. We got somebody calling the show.
You got a couple callers. Here's caller number 2 right here.
What happened to caller number 1?
We got 2 callers. Look at this. Okay.
So, all right.
Hello?
You're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness.
It is. Well, this is Leslie Mahaffey.
Oh, our top listener.
Uh-oh. Commonwealth Attorney prior to Wes Nance, I believe, would have been Randy Cran.
That is correct.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding.
The current.
Well,
No more callers. We have a winner.
That's right. The current general district judge.
Yes.
That is correct. So,
correct.
Congratulations.
Leslie, if you run back out, we'll be doing his. We'll be here for another 45 minutes doing the show. You can come pick up your
That's exactly
stuff.
right.
Hey, DW, I was going to tell you to stop it off on your way home.
I can do that. Not a problem.
Hey, what other ready?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, only at Grove Street Studios do we hand deliver your prizes. Not only do we give you prizes, we bring them to you.
We are the Grub Hub of podcasts.
that is fantastic.
Well, thank you for calling the show.
Y'all have fun.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.
So who's my second caller?
They must have heard Leslie win, and they
didn't have to hang up. We could
We're
at least.
sorry. Yeah, call
They
back.
could have. They could have stayed
so we
on
can
the line.
chat.
Cuss
like-
us out or something.
Yeah, we like talking to losers too. Oh, that is a little over the top.
Oh my
Hey.
God!
Well, I mean, you don't call second. Oh, there we go. I'm just kidding. So, anyway, that person's not listening.
It might have been Ashley telling you what to pick up to bring home for dinner.
probably
today.
was.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Listen, I started back football this week. And so I've been in football practice every night till 7 o'clock, and I text dinner ? You know what I get?
As your daughter would say, wah, wah, wah.
I get 3 phone calls. What are you cooking for dinner? So, yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, Brian, what are you cooking for dinner tonight?
Woody?
Yep.
So, this week, our college campus updates, we have a graduate of Jefferson Forest High School who is now at Virginia Tech.
Y'all can't hear that, but we're listening to Metallica.
I got to wait till the awesome part starts, Brian. Then we go to the call.
Well,
Man, I hate to stop this. All right, let's stop there. Here we go.
all right.
Yeah.
We're speaking with Caleb Eckert, graduate of Jefferson Forest High School, who's attending Virginia Tech. Caleb, tell us why you decided on Tech.
Well, I decided on Tech because I really enjoyed the campus when I first toured it. It really felt like home to me. And to provide a little bit of family background, my dad also went there.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad's a Tech alumni. And that probably played a little bit of a decision going into it. But I also came in I was coming in for a business major. So I looked into their business school and seemed like a good fit. So,
what other schools were in the running? Just curious.
So Tennessee was also in the running. I applied to Tennessee and got in.
Mm-hmm.
And James Madison was also in the running as well.
Okay.
And I would say those two, going along with Virginia Tech, were probably my top 3.
So, had you chosen James Madison or Tennessee, how often would your father speak to you?
I don't think it'd be any bad blood, but he definitely would talk to me. He expects the best of me, and I think he would definitely be happy about any decision I made going further.
Well, that's cool. Is there a spot in Blacksburg, an eating joint that most people may not know about that is a kind of a hot spot that students go to?
There's a lot of them, but I would say Sharky's is definitely a top.
Okay.
A lot of people go to Sharky's. Entertainment, food, drinks, everything. It's all good. I personally haven't been to Sharky's yet, but I plan on going later in my college career.
I gotcha.
So Sharky's is one, but and honestly, all the food on campus is great.
Yeah.
I would definitely rate Tech's food like top notch for sure. I would say my favorite place on campus though would probably be D2. D2 is a good one. It's a buffet style, so you go up in there, you swipe your Hokey card, and you can get as much food as you want.
Hey, that sounds like a deal I'd like to have for sure. Let me ask you this: so, if there's a kid that may be thinking about going to Tech, is just not sure, is there now that you're there, what would you say is kind of the cool thing that the kids that may be looking at Tech, what's a good selling point for them?
So I would say obviously academics. Academics is one of our strong points here at Tech. It's very demanding school, but for sure. Like just from me being here, I know that I'm constantly doing work, but at the same time, you're going to have your free time, you're going to have fun. But also, if you're really into doing clubs or if you're interested in sports, sports are great here. Sports are phenomenal, especially Tech football.
Did we have a brain freeze back there?
Something happened to the board. So,
wow.
Yeah, we'll have to pick up that interview. I'm not sure what happened on the
great.
The rest
I'll
of that
never
one,
hear the end of this one from his parents.
Gosh! Oh my
Holy
gosh!
crap! We were at the end of the interview anyway.
Yeah.
But
on a side note, I think that
we have a caller.
There we go. So let me kick that over, and I will figure out what is going on.
You're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness, live from State Farm Studios. David Honaker, you're on the air.
Yeah, I was just going to say I was going to try to answer that trivia question, but I couldn't Google it fast enough.
Well, sorry, but who are we talking to?
This is just some guy. I'm the loser. Didn't answer the question fast enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to call you a loser. I just was stating fact. That's all.
Yeah.
No, you're right. If I could have typed that question fast, I would have got it.
Well, we do appreciate you listening to the show. Anyway, are you a Bedford native at least?
Am I what now?
Do you live in Bedford?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
That's probably why I didn't get that question right.
That's probably why. Well, appreciate you calling, and thank you for listening.
All right, y'all.
All right, see you.
Thank
you. Good. Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to call him.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, what are you going to do? Maybe next week.
That's awesome.
Which, tune in next week. We'll have another trivia question. You can get on board on that. Again, we do apologize as we missed the tail end of Caleb's interview. But so again, we'll continue to do that. I believe next week we'll try to have Perry Warner, another Jefferson Forest graduate who is at University of Tennessee. So anyway, moving on. Trying to look at my clock here. I've got this, for people who don't know, I used to have a nice digital clock in here. And now I have this little teeny clock on the wall.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. I even have a neon light around it, and I thought it fit the room's vibe, but apparently the host is not happy with it.
We'll have to get like on the motocross, the Monster Girls that walk around holding up the thing, carrying a clock.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Do we know anybody might want to be a Monster Girl?
Girls in the studio. This is just starting to make sense now, dude.
Yeah, that works for me.
Hey, I'm all about it. Yeah. So, anyway, moving on to what's happening. What's happened is sponsored by...
What's happening?
David Honaker, State Farm. Is located at 1238 East Lynchburg-Salem Turnpike, Bedford, 24523. It's located at the old Gatewood Homes building on 460 beside Arby's. If you're heading east on 460... it's the left after the light at Walmart. They have over 30 years of experience being a licensed agent in the state of Virginia. specializing in home, auto, life insurance, business, and health insurance. Wow. You can call them for a quote at 540-586-8194 or visit their website at davidhonaker.com. Like a good neighbor, David Honaker State Farm is there.
That's right.
So again, we thank you for sponsoring our studio and sponsoring our What's Happening segment. Let me have a little bit of more of that there, Woodrow.
Yeah, sure, I can kick that in again. Look at that.
There we go. So we'll kick off our What's Happening segment with a little weather report from DW.
All right. Well, as we know that the temperature is already down outside, so the cold air is in place for what we anticipate coming probably after midnight tonight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We should start with a wintry mix, possible snow. That by daytime will probably switch over to rain, freezing rain, sleet.
Gosh.
And that's going to be the problem is the ice again. Last week we got lucky. We got a graze of it here, but, going east and south of us got hit pretty hard. So hoping everybody will get through this okay. And, it's cold temperature and everything. But remember, stay off the roads if you don't need to come out. Stay at home.
Right. So on to national news. If you have been paying attention to the weather, Texas and surrounding states are getting hit.
Yes.
Experiencing major power outages due to the freezing temperatures and bad winter weather.
Yes.
They're just not used to that.
Yes.
And you don't think about it, but here,
we
put pipes, underground water lines, 18 inches below frost line, things like that, 24 inches, things like that. They don't do that stuff there.
And they don't have equipment for snow.
And they don't have equipment. They don't have anything. So anyway, they've been having these bad issues, but a lot of their issues are coming from their windmills and solar. I didn't realize that a large portion, and when I say large, I think it's over 20% of their power comes from solar and wind.
How's that working out?
The Texas governor is not happy about it and has expressed his frustration and says that they will investigate how to not have this happen in the future.
Yep.
However, AOC,
she's on it.
If you listen to her, she already has the answer. She says that Texas is having these problems because we didn't do enough in the new Green Deal. So I don't speak for her. That's what she said. I just read what she said. She said, if we had done more for the new Green Deal, we wouldn't be having these problems. So I thought it used to be global warming, but apparently now it's just called climate change. So
probably have something to do with voter fraud or restoration. People didn't vote or get the power turned on. So.
No, but it's a real thing right now. I mean, I was looking at them there, and here's the thing about the wind turbines and stuff. We don't know the extent of the damage. Mm-hmm. Like right now, they're just not. They can't spin because they're frozen. But when they thaw out, nobody knows if they're going to work properly.
Well, the other thing I found to be odd is that just by looking online and stuff, that there's people that have been without power for like 50 hours. And then they turn people's power back on for like 6 hours so they can warm up, charge up stuff, and do that. So there's really not a problem with the grid. I mean, as far as the infrastructure.
Correct.
It's just they're having to light the load.
Yeah.
So you see downtown of the city's lit up.
That's right.
Skyscrapers lit up, and then people out in the suburbs freezing their
That's exactly right.
beeps off. You know, get your beep ready there, Woody. Freezing their ass off. You know,
louder.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You have to talk slow when
okay.
You're freezing your. Thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a big problem down there. So speaking of wintry mix, the CDC has said things should be thrown out of your refrigerator if your power is off more than 4 hours. I have a solution for that.
Eat it.
Put it in the cooler and stick it outside if it's cold. It shouldn't go bad then.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Problem solved. I'm a problem solver.
There you go.
On to local news. Sad story, but it did happen. The remains of Alexis Murphy was found. I read that today. If you remember, she was the girl in Nelson. What I didn't know was...
What was the guy's name? Randy Taylor?
Yeah, he was found guilty of that. But wasn't there something later on where there was a guy at Charlottesville that was like a nurse? He had dreads and he had killed a bunch of people. Yeah, I thought he was connected in that.
Yeah,
too.
but he was linked to some other things, and then
so he was never linked to her.
I mean, like the way it works in Virginia, like it seems like if one person kills someone within 30 miles or 2 hours, they're linked all over the place. But come to find out, no. But he was linked to another Virginia Tech murder, and
that's right. It was the girl that went to the concert.
Yes, and and all that.
It was a Metallica concert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, y'all were refreshing my memory.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Woody, I mean, how long had you graduated before that happened?
For
Alexis?
Oh, she was in 2013. I believe
you just graduated in 2012, right?
Thank you. 1999. Thank you.
Oh, you did graduate. There we go.
I did graduate. Yeah, but no, that was a sad story because her family. Not that they held out hope, but Randy never spoke, but ended up going to prison, and then now it kind of confirmed what everybody had suspected.
All right. Well, funny news. Moving on to funny news. There was a woman in Louisiana, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard this story, but I just thought it was funny. She used Gorilla Glue in her hair.
That stuff works good.
She later posted a video on Instagram after the glue had been in her hair for over a month. She stated that her hair doesn't move, and she was treated at a hospital after she realized after 15 times it would not come out.
Gosh, I bet that did hurt, though. I mean, I know it's ill. God, I feel bad for her.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It works good. Yep. Oh, it's another one.
Wow. Another person.
Another TikTok user.
Copycat.
That's stupid.
Gorilla Glue's going to have to put a disclaimer.
So the Tide Pod people probably said,
hey,
look how stupid we are.
Contact legal because they are about to get hit.
And Gorilla Glue said, hold my beer and watch this.
So our next guest our guest today is Wes Nance.
Yes.
That is sponsored by Steve and Judy Rush. If you're looking to buy or sell a home or land, call Judy and Steve Rush. They are lifelong residents of Bedford with knowledge of local market that is unsurpassed. With over 60 years of combined experience in the local market, they have won multiple awards in their field. They will represent you in all your needs in real estate transactions. Call Judy. And let me slow this down. Call Judy at 540-871-3131 or Steve at 540-871-4021 or email Judy at judyrushrealestate.com. They are Century 21 All Services located at 415 East Main Street. Mm-hmm. So do we have...
Yes, I believe Wes is on the line now.
All right. Wes, welcome to Life, Liberty, Happiness.
Thanks so much. Really glad to be here. But first and foremost, please no Gorilla Glue questions. I am not a personal injury lawyer. So
he's not a personal injury lawyer.
Criminal law if possible.
Yeah. Well, Wes, you are the current Commonwealth Attorney for Bedford County. How long does that term last?
We're elected for 4-year terms. Now, I started off in the middle of a term when Randy Krantz took the bench in General District Court. So I served a 3-year term, and then just in 2019 was reelected to another 4-year term.
Okay. So can you give a little bit of history? Because I've always often wondered, why is a Commonwealth attorney a political position?
Well, it's become more and more political, really, as things have gone on. It's been an elected a constitutional office for as long as I've been aware of the position. I think that's a long history here in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think what you've seen, however, is in the last few election cycles, it's become more and more political in that uh, jurisdictions are trying to put attorneys into that office that will have a particular emphasis on some crimes, a de-emphasis on other crimes.
Okay, I
And
see
they're
now.
making
Yeah.
some headway in some of the larger jurisdictions.
Mm-hmm. That makes more sense now that you've kind of explained it that way. I understand. Kind of, I could understand now how that. I always try to look at when the Constitution came about. I always try to put myself back in those days. They were writing it not only thinking about the longevity of the United States, but as things were then. And so, like I was talking to someone earlier today, when you have representatives from a certain area, it's they didn't travel back and forth to Washington and stuff, or at the state legislators. So everything was more local back then, but also I think it works for today's times. And so, at some of the things we've seen topic wise is criminal justice reform. One, do you believe we have to have criminal justice reform? And two, if you do, how do we do that without going too far?
Well, that's a really loaded question, so I guess that makes it a very good one.
Yeah.
The reality is how do you define criminal justice reform? I always feel like we should always strive to make the system better and fairer. Um, the definition that's being bandied around in Richmond, however, is criminal justice reform that is easy on criminals, tough on law enforcement, and difficult on victims of crime. And if that's the criminal justice for reform we're talking about, I'm not in favor of that. But, there is always ways to do what we do better. And that's what this office always strives to do. It's just maybe not the same vision as most of the politicians in Richmond right now.
Yeah, and oftentimes I see that with everything. It seems like we want to paint everything with a broad stroke. And just because, there may be some issues in a police department, in wherever, Michigan or somewhere, doesn't mean that Bedforders ran that way. And so I think, again, getting back to local, that is, I think, the answer is if we can tackle these things locally and everybody focus on local, I think we do a better job of that. So, I look at something like criminal justice reform, and I think locally we all, like you said, can learn and do a better job of it, but we can't paint a broad stroke either.
Well, that's right. You can say that thing with police officers. You can say the same thing with defendants, the individuals that come in this courthouse. I mean, I've been a prosecutor now for nearly 25 years. And, when you first start out, you just want to put people in jail. That seems like what your job is. But I've realized over the years that that's not my goal. My goal is to do justice. And there are bad police officers in this world, but I think they are the absolute small exception to the rule of the brave men and women we deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the defendants that we deal with are not evil people.
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes do bad things, but the vast majority of the people that we're dealing with, we've caught them sometimes on the worst day of their life, or they're struggling with substance abuse and mental health. So you can't paint police officers, deputies, or troopers with a broad brush, but you can't treat defendants the same way either. You have to look at each case individually. And that's why I think it's important, whether you're talking about prosecutors, judges, or otherwise, to put people with good judgment in those positions to enforce the laws and to make judicial decisions with reason and with a logic that fits this locality. a prosecutor here might treat cases differently than one in Richmond. This is a jurisdiction where our Second Amendment rights are very strongly, they're a cornerstone of Bedford County. And so what's reasonable use of a firearm here might be different than downtown Richmond. And so it takes a prosecutor who's in tune with their locality, I think, to be able to enforce those laws and prosecute those laws in the right way for that location.
Hey, Wes, this is DW here, and I have a couple questions for you. One, as being a proud parent of a law enforcement officer, I see in the news that in legislation it keeps coming up for the qualified immunity, and that really bothers me. What is your opinion on that?
I think that is a really dangerous avenue to go down. If you're concerned about bad police officers, let's say,
yeah,
you don't make it more difficult to recruit and retain your best officers. And if you get rid of the immunity that these officers have, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a poorer pool of applicants, not a better pool of applicants.
Right.
Those officers who, put their lives on the line every day just to have their judgment Monday morning quarterbacked all the time are going to leave the profession and find other ways to serve their community. So I think it's the wrong road to go down. I think there are other ways to make sure that we only keep the best and the brightest police officers, and that's not the way to do it.
Right. The other thing I have, just kind of a corny, funny thing is, so do you sometimes be in the courtroom and you're going up against one of the, better attorneys in town that but it's also a good friend, and then when you get done, you go out and have a sandwich afterwards that you can leave that stuff behind?
Well, that's one of the great things about practicing here in Bedford is you have a great and deep bench of defense attorneys, but we leave our battles in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And the mutual respect that we have for each other outside the courtroom, I think, is very important. And some of it just has to do with prosecuting and practicing in a small jurisdiction. If you practice cutthroat even outside the courtroom, how do you build on a position of trust when you have a case that should be resolved? You have to be able to take an individual at their word, even if you fight like cats and dogs once you're in the courtroom. And that's what I've found the entire time that I've been here in Bedford, and makes me feel so proud and so blessed to be able to prosecute here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Wes. We're speaking with Wes Nance, Commonwealth Attorney here in Bedford County. Executive orders seems to be the new thing that keeps popping up, with whether it be the governor or the president. How do you, as a locality, how do you look at those things and determine, it just seems like some of them. I mean, do you just take them at their word and just say, okay, this is what it is? Or does that affect you in any way, executive orders?
Well, the executive orders are supposed to be for a time of emergency. And, I don't see too many emergencies that last 11 months that start to infringe on our right to assemble, our right to practice our religion as we see fit, and some of the basic freedoms that we have under the Constitution. So, I personally have some constitutional concerns about the executive orders that we've seen in the wake of COVID-19. But of course, at the same time, I'm talking to you via telephone because, we've had some close contact here in the courthouse with members of the bar who are not feeling well and who are testing positive. Right. And I wear a mask whenever I'm in close proximity to others because, I have a respect for my fellow citizens, and I have parents who are getting up in age and are particularly vulnerable to it. So I am very much against the criminal enforcement of those provisions, but at the same time, I voluntarily decide to practice many of those um, measures out of respect for my fellow man.
Yeah.
And that's where, having a prosecutor and law enforcement officers who reflect the flavor of the community or the feel of the community, I think is once again so important. You know, I have, I'm aware that the executive orders are in place, obviously, but I have not been requested to prosecute a violation of those.
Mm-hmm.
No investigation has been presented to me for charging decisions. I think since there has been respect from the citizenry about the unique circumstances we're in right now, and also an understanding that criminal prosecution just isn't necessary for people to make the right decisions to protect their fellow citizens, that we fortunately haven't had to go down that road, and I don't anticipate having to go down that road with enforcement of those provisions.
Yeah, I was reading a story recently. It's a little different, but it was out in Arizona where the state election board was ordering an audit on Maricopa County's elections, where the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors basically said no, voted to say no. So I'm torn because I don't think states should be mandating certain things, but at the same time, I'm like, well, wait a minute, So it's one of those things where, again, I always seem to fall back on local because I feel like, but what power does local have when it comes to state?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to address that. One way is to very blatantly say we are not going to enforce this. We think it's unconstitutional, and Richmond, go fly a kite.
Right.
The other is to use your discretion in the way that you enforce the laws that are passed by the legislature. And if you'll bear with me, I'll tell you one of my favorite stories. I tell younger officers all the time, and that's how much you learn from the Andy Griffith Show. And there's an episode where Andy heads to the Capitol for the weekend, and when he comes back, Barney was left in charge. Everybody's in the jail. The mayor's been arrested, Aunt Bee's arrested, even Opie is behind bars because he is enforcing every rule by the letter of the law instead of the spirit of the law. And these officers have to understand that there are hard and fast rules, but there is still some discretion given to your local officers, your local officials. Just like we don't pull over every person on Route 24 going 56 miles per hour, you don't write a ticket every time you see somebody not wearing a face mask.
Gotcha.
So, that's where, once again, elections matter. And putting people into positions where they have some discretion, it's important for those individuals to use their discretion wisely to try to both uphold the law, but also uphold the local standards of the community in which they live.
That's a great answer. We're speaking with Wes Nance, current Commonwealth Attorney, Bedford County. Wes, we always end with, if you could spend 24 hours with somebody in history or current time, who would it be? Where would you go?
And, that's actually a really tricky question. And I guess as an attorney who's always sitting there trying to think of every alternative, I was thinking, okay, do I go religious? Do I go family? Do I go historical?
Right.
But ultimately, the answer that kept coming to my mind is an individual we actually just lost. And I would love to be able to sit down in the dugout of Atlanta Fulton County Stadium with Hank Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Just a huge baseball huge baseball fan. Braves are my number one team. But, and he was just always a baseball hero from a very young age. And to find out the hardships that he went through, I think he's a good symbol for sort of the evolving South, where an individual based upon his own merit and special talents is able to, there's your train.
That's right.
To overcome what he did.
It was loud today, the train. I apologize. But no, that's a great answer because, I've grown up a baseball fan. When I was young, I was...
Go Phillies.
Yeah, I was not a Braves fan. I'm a Nats fan, so we've got the East taken care
Yeah,
of.
at least you pull for the National League, so that's a good thing.
Well, Wes, we do appreciate you being on the show, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Guys, thank you so much for having me.
Yep.
Great to talk to you all, and you take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Wes.
All right, well,
I do have one question.
For me?
Well, in the studio today, we have Johnny Cash. And I have to ask, did you hear that train coming?
It would have been nice if you'd have given us a heads up.
Yeah, have an alert next time.
Yeah.
That train was loud, though.
It was super
it's not
loud
usually
today.
like that. It's Steve Rush out there running that train.
They're listening to the show as they ride by.
Trying to sabotage their show.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Nobody Knows, except everybody knows their sponsor, CNS Business Services.
Yeah.
Most small businesses spend the majority of their time making sure they are getting the work done and the time and the quality they're keeping up and making their customers happy. The last thing you want to do is spend hours working on payroll, figuring out invoices, and all that stuff trying to get paid. Well, we got the answer for that. CNS Business Services, they can help you with that. Call Susan or Charlene or just meet with them. They'll lay out a plan. They will cater it to everything you need. They'll do everything they can to help maximize your profits. Don't waste a lot of money trying to do it yourself. Call them today at 540-586-1120, 540-586-1120, or check them out at csbusinessservices.com. Tell them we told you to call and get it done. Don't wait. DW.
Yes. So, was looking forward to having Wes in the studio, but completely understand that he couldn't make it because I had a couple of these I was going to give his opinion on. But since he's a Commonwealth attorney, I looked up, and so here are some weird laws in Virginia. Yeah. You'll start stuttering in a few
What's
minutes.
a weird law? Give me a weird law.
I don't know if it's still weird. It might have been repealed.
You don't know if it's still weird,
Well,
or if
still-
you don't know if it's a weird law.
Well, I don't know if it's still on the books, but you cannot drive barefooted.
Oh.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. See, this is all questions we could have.
Why didn't you
Nailed
ask
down.
him while we had him on the phone?
Because the
Well,
train.
Well, yeah, because of train.
It's hard to stop. Hey, did you know you can't stop a train with a bare foot?
Yes.
Probably not.
It also was illegal to tickle a woman.
Oh, well, yeah.
I can understand that because
Yeah.
I've gotten hit a few times.
Yeah. Virginia Beach, it's illegal to use profanity on the boardwalk or Atlantic Avenue.
Oh, that's a bunch of.
Would it? There you go. And I think I've actually seen a sign, Tammy, when we was down there at the Raven Eaton. Isn't it a sign out front that says about cussing on the street, like a parking sign?
I tell you what, if
said-
you like my haircut, I
Yeah.
get my haircut at. Don't beep out where I get my haircut. I get my haircut at Status. And let me tell you what, first thing you see when you come in through that door is no profanity.
Yeah.
And they keep that place clean, so
Cool.
maybe they're the ones that wrote the law in Virginia Beach.
Culpepper. Get your beeper ready, Woody.
Oh, boy, I'm ready.
What the?
Culpepper.
Brian?
I got my Megan Kelly sound next to my sensor
Yeah.
sound. Sorry.
All right. In Culpepper, you cannot wash your mule or your ass on the sidewalk.
so slow.
Yeah.
So you cannot wash your on the sidewalk.
Or a mule.
On the sidewalk.
That's
On
a
the
good law,
sidewalk.
though.
Yeah.
I think it's yeah.
So evidently, some of the people that work with me are from Culpeper.
Hey, don't worry. They don't listen to the show. It's no
That's right. If you're not married, it's illegal to have sexual relations.
So no high-fiving.
No high five.
If you're not married.
Yeah.
Where's that at? Commonwealth of Virginia?
Yeah. Well, maybe it used to be. It may be gone now. I don't know. Yep. And that is 18.2-344. And this is what I was going to throw at
Section
Wes.
code.
Yep. Fornication. Any person not being married who voluntarily shall have sexual intercourse with another person shall be guilty of fornication, punishable by a Class 4 misdemeanor.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's illegal.
First of all, your glasses. I mean, we're on camera here. You
I don't
got
care.
like 2 pairs of glasses to see.
That's my homemade bifocals. I can't see.
You do realize I'm not skinny. I mean, I'm just.
You haven't seen him with 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
I forgot to print these in the big font.
One's not. We need a sponsor for your freaking glasses.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I don't care. It's illegal to shine a light on a poultry house.
Well, that does mess up their cycles.
Yeah,
with
and that's
eggs and stuff. It does.
that's
I agree with that one.
Code 18.2-509. Employment of lights under certain circumstances. Attached to a vehicle employs a spotlight to cast the lights beyond the surface of a roadway onto a poultry house. Causes such animals to panic or become injured. Is guilty by a Class 4 misdemeanor.
Well, you got to be a chicken anyway to spotlight at night anyway.
Woody,
Uh-oh.
this one is. I think.
Did I have the button ready?
No, you don't. You don't.
Oh.
Have, no.
Oh, okay.
I think this is gonna land you in jail
Okay.
on this one.
Oh, Lord.
It's illegal to wander around a cemetery at night.
Yep. Lock me up.
Yep.
That's my favorite place to hang out.
And it says, if any person without the consent of the owner, proprietor, or custodian of the cemetery, if they go and enter at nighttime upon the premises, public or private, for any purpose other than to visit the burial lot, or some member of his family, shall be guilty of the Class 4
My
misdemeanor.
God, will this
That's good to
segment
know.
ever end?
Yeah.
That is good to know. These are important laws, Brian, because I've been walking around cemeteries, shining lights in poultry bins, so this is good to know.
One more, and I'll spare you the rest. How about that? And then, if you keep on, I'm gonna have to get all the beats out here in a minute. It is illegal to use an X-ray machine for shoe fitting, and that's 18.2-321. It shall be unlawful for any person to use an X-ray, fluoroscope, or any other equipment or apparatus that employs Roentgen rays for fitting of shoes or other footwear.
Al
Now-
Bundy
I
probably
wonder
came up
why.
with that.
Now, I've never, ever, ever had somebody X-ray
your feet.
to put shoes on.
First of all, I don't know that I've ever had anybody touch my feet because I'm not a feet person.
Man, speaking of that, did you watch that new show on TV the other night called My Feet Are Killing Me?
No.
Oh, my God. Don't eat before you watch it.
Ugh, I don't know. I don't watch that kind of crap.
Isn't that like that? What's that other Dr. Popper?
Oh, just stop.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah.
Just don't even start. I'll start. Yeah. I can't take that crap.
Yeah.
Now. I mean, so what does a skeleton say before it eats?
Bon appetit.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Business highlight.
I'm coming. Hold on. Here we go.
There we go. All right. Our business highlight this week is Clam Diggers. Clam Diggers is at 109 South Bridge Street. So if you haven't been to Clam Diggers, you should. It's kind of a neat little spot in Bedford that I go from time to time. It's just a little, first of all, you can go there to eat seafood. They have fresh seafood. But they also have a little bar in the back that's just kind of like the perfect Bedford little niche to go in and have a few drinks. So go down there and tell them we sent you. Another great show.
Yep.
We now have our studio sponsor, State Farm. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you,
David Hodaker. He is, local here. There's our local agent.
I can cut the heat on now.
Like a good neighbor.
Well, not every show. Every other show I cut the heat on.
What are you wearing, David?
Jesus Lord Almighty.
David from State Farm.
So that means, because we had to wait till we got a studio sponsor, that means we can have our 80s trivia.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
So we will announce when that will happen.
Yep.
And we have said that our first month studio sponsorship will be donated to the winner's charity of choice.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
And maybe next week we'll hear again from Will Cross Lanes.
Will from Cross Lanes.
He needs to be a little better than what he was today, or else that's not going to work.
You have to hang up on him.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to bring it, you got to bring it. I mean, I'm just kidding. So, anyway, nobody's listening at this point in time. We've passed our
No,
hour.
Yeah, they've hung up by now.
Yeah, 59 minutes, they're out.
Yeah.
Hey, Megan Kelly's going to be on sometime in the future. I mean, just listen. So anyway, we do need feedback. So please, if you are listening, email the show. They can email the show where?
Life, Liberty, Happiness Podcast at gmail.com, or even easier, just go to the website, lifeliberty.us, and contact us right on there. Plus, that has all the past episodes. You can listen live. It has all the subscription links for the podcast. It has everything right there.
I forgot to mention that Grove Street FM.
Yes.
That's where you can listen
Yes.
live to our show.
Yeah,
right.
And soon, Woody will be kind of looping our show
Yep.
on Grove Street FM. He'll let us know when that finally happens.
Yep.
Maybe, hopefully.
So that means that poor guy you called a loser will have to hear that over and
He'll
over.
hear that over and over. He'll never be
He
able
ought
to forget
to,
it.
I hope he emails the show and demands an apology.
We're going to have to give him a gift card.
Woody, there are currently shows on
Yeah.
Yes.
Grove Street FM. Kind of give us so we can listen to them.
So right now we have basically all of the shows that we are producing here at the studio. So we have Chamber Vibes. It's the Bedford area Chamber of Commerce, and Talk Local to Me from the Coalition, Central Virginia Business Coalition. And we have Cold Talk with Brown's Heating and Air. And then, of course, Life, Liberty, Happiness. And then we have some other fun talk shows in looping on there and some good stuff. So, yeah, download the Android app. If you go to grovestreet.fm, that's www.grovestreet.fm, you can see the link to download the app. It's for Android right now, and you can get it for Alexa, and iPhone should be next week. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, and if you have an iPhone and you can't wait, you have to listen live before the iPhone app is approved. You can listen right there on the website. Easy.
So I've got Alexa at home.
Yes.
So what do I say if I say...
So if you have not installed the Alexa skill, all you have to do is just say, Alexa,
What the heck
enable Grove Street FM. That's all you have
That's
to do.
it?
That's
And
it. It's
boom.
easy. And then she'll read your brain and put it on there.
So I can tell Reagan to do that. I'm not hip on
And we do have one last, I just got a text, so we do have one person listening, Wayne.
That's
Wayne.
good.
Wayne Hill.
Hey, Wayne.
Oh, hell. All hell Wayne.
Yep. So obviously he must be bored out of his mind if he's listening.
Yeah. What time does Wayne get off work?
5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So he's been listening since 5, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, Wayne, we appreciate you listening to the show. Anyway, until next week, we have not secured a guest for next week, which is okay.
It's okay.
We've got some brainstorming we're going to do. Why did I do that?
I wonder if you could call back,
Hi, Brian. Happy to be with you.
have her back on.
That she is my ringtone, by the way. And
Week after next, we can do the 80th thing because, my secret weapon works, so I have to work it out. But that person.
we work for a living.
Huh?
I work for a living.
Let me see. That person. I'll check with them. I think they are off today, so they're working next week. So the following week we can do the 80th thing.
So did you, before we go, I mean, people can, this is the after hours listening. Did you watch the Daytona 500?
I did.
And I take it you did not. So what, do you fault Joey Logano?
No, I think you got to go for the win.
Right.
I don't think he did anything wrong. When you get in that plate restrictor racing and everybody's bumping, that bumping might have started 3 cars back. You're just the last one that gets shoved out there into somebody.
But I'm trying to think back when NASCAR was NASCAR and before Jeff Gordon ruined it. When I go back, I don't remember Dale Earnhardt, and maybe they did, and I just didn't notice it, block the way that things are today. Because you had the slingshot.
My personal opinion, I'll probably get a lot of people upset. That's what caused Dale Earnhardt's fatal wreck.
It is. He was blocking. No, I'm not. I know that, but I'm just saying it just seems more today because I don't fault Joey Logano. He's in the lead.
Yes.
And so what?
It's the biggest race of the year. I mean,
here's where I think if you wreck like they did and you hit in the rear, which is where Keselowski did, I don't blame the guy that's in the lead. If you get to his rear quarter panel and a wreck happens, then I blame the guy in the lead because once you get past that quarter panel, I'm using my microphone here. Once you get past that quarter panel, you've earned that space.
Yes.
That's the way I see it. But if you're just pulling over, then so be it. I mean, that's kind of the way. That's my rule of thumb.
Yep.
You agree with that?
I do.
So Joey Logano did fine.
Yeah, I think he did fine.
I actually said this, maybe just to myself, but at the end of stage 2, Michael McDowell was 3rd or 4th. And I said, man, he's been up there all day, and they've never mentioned his name, not one time. They've mentioned Bubba Wallace and all the other people that were, not supposed to be up there usually, but they were, but not him. And I wondered why.
He typically runs good on the restrictor plate tracks.
Yeah.
That whole team does. When David Rankin was with them,
that's true. That is true.
David won a race for them and typically
I was happy for him.
I was.
There's a lot of people who were like,
I thought it was neat that when he came back to Concord, because he didn't come back till the next day where a lot of them came back that night, but when he came back the next day, a lot of the drivers were at the airport waiting on him to show their support for him because he won a race.
Yes. I do remember a certain driver complaining about him last year. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And he called him a religious nut.
Yes.
Remember that person?
Yep.
I won't say who it is, but anyway.
Yep.
So anyway, congratulations to Michael McDowell. I don't even think we mentioned that. So for those people who are listening, the Grove Street family, will be welcoming in a new sports show. Mr. Let's not tell anybody secrets over there, doesn't give it in his lineup on your Grove Street FM, did you?
It's starting next week.
Next week.
It was when I posted that graphic. It was not 100% confirmed, but now it's confirmed.
It's confirmed. Okay, so next week, what time?
6 o'clock Thursday.
6 o'clock
6
next
p.m.
Thursday. We have our new sports show.
Sideline Savages.
And
Mr. PJ Preston, who is going to be the host of that show, played for Virginia Tech under Frank Beamer and was around some of the greats that were there. So he has a great perspective and just absolutely loves sports. So it's a fun show.
All right, our studio audience seems to be eager to get out of here, so we will get out of here. That's okay. You can start. There we go. Let's end the show on that. Hey, by the way, we're going to have...
Come here. Put those on the list.
I'm going to... yes. Don't worry. The cameras are off.
Listen to that.
The cameras are off. So, I would say we need to have him in the studio playing some of this stuff.
He can do
it. Look, what is next week? Let's do it next week.
We can make it happen.
Playing some music next week.
You can play that next week, can't you?
All right. I'll set you up a microphone.
Good.
There we go. Right over there in the couch.
We'll have live music in the studio next week.
There you go.
Man, I'm loving it. Cool deal.
Awesome.
All right, folks. Thanks for another wonderful show. And we'll see you again next week.
Yep.